I know you're going to make it, and here's how I know you are. Life is this journey of building a puzzle, right? You're collecting one piece at a time, thinking that it's the puzzle, but in reality, it's the pieces that make the puzzle. It's the pieces that make your life what it will be in the future, right? You have to sow good seeds. You have to sow habits that you want, and those habits reap into characters and who you are becoming, right? I think often we find these puzzle pieces and we think that the pieces themselves are the puzzle, and we think that we have finally found out what we're meant to be, what we're supposed to do, and we get really achieved, well earned in this one area of life, and we think we have everything put together, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. Whether it's going to the gym, you're building your muscle, you look good now, you have all this stuff, you have the aesthetics of it, right? You have the 6-pack, the 8-pack, you have all these things that you want, to have the endurance, right? But maybe your mind's shot, right? And maybe some of you just have the mind, you have all the philosophy, you have all the knowledge, the research, the capability to do so, and you can start conversations and all this. Maybe you have the social aspect of it, you're good at talking to people, you have many connections and all these things, but everywhere else is lacking. All those things are pieces of the puzzle, right? It's like we think that those individual pieces are what we're looking for. And when we're on the pursuit of kind of that path of whatever it is, I believe every person ultimately goes more into one of those paths, whether it's physical, mental, social, just to give a few examples. But it's like you choose that path that you go down and you think that's a little puzzle, and then you're like, I have everything else to learn, right? I have every other piece to get to build this puzzle of who I'm going to be. And we have to start wrestling with this idea that it's going to require more than just this one thing that we're good at, or this one thing that we've spent years on, months, years on, whatever it is. It's like, hey, you're going to spend multiple years on this, but you're adding these different pieces. I think about it with Thanos and his Infinity Stones, right? Each of those things is building a different aspect of you. And even if you're just weak on the one, the fact that you found it, you're building it up, that's what matters, right? That's the building of the puzzle. That's forming it together, getting a better picture of who you are. Right? Ultimately, when we gather this knowledge and these achievements in these different areas, practically speaking, we are forming ourselves into who we are by building the puzzle. We're gathering the pieces that were already there. We're identifying them, understanding where they are, where they belong, what their purpose is, and putting it together to form who you are, to form who I am, right? Life is not this one-way street. It's not this simple answer, right? This is what I struggled with for so long. I wished I could put life into one aesthetic, one virtue, one thing that I could put everything into, so that way everything would make sense and it would be simple and I wouldn't have to overthink every situation. But it doesn't happen. That's not how life is. Life is full of puzzle pieces that you have to pick up, discover, and often through hardship, and you start getting those things and they take time to progress, but you understand that they form the puzzle of who you are. They form the mosaic of who you are, and the fact that we are so complex is actually a good thing. It means we have deeper character. It means that we were made for more than just the superficial things of success that it offers, but it's the building of the character and the building of who we are, so we can actually start to like ourselves and actually start to really enjoy what we see, and not just be addicted to the constant progress, but actually the little wins along the way, the identification of certain puzzle pieces that you were so lost for that you didn't even know of, and you found them, and you can look back and see how important they are, maybe than more of these other puzzle pieces that you thought you worked so much for, and you did, but you thought were the thing, and you spent so many years working on, to find out that was just a piece of what it is. It isn't necessarily less, but it isn't more. It's just what it needs to be, right? It's not less, it's not more, it's just what it needs to be. That's what life is. And that's what all these different ventures of life is, right? It's every aspect of your life when you think about it, the hobbies that you have, what you do, and for the reason that you do these things. It all builds up who you are. You're not this simple creature, this simple person. That's why we look at these people who go nowhere in life and they live happy lives. But if you really look at what they're doing, they're probably experiencing depression, overthinking, committing themselves to lust, committing themselves to these cheap pleasures and getting out of things because they become so simple. And the world looks at them and say, yeah, but they're happy people. They live simple lives and all this stuff. And you know, they appear easygoing on the outside, and you know, maybe they have some nice things, but they're tormented within their self, right? It's because they don't have all these puzzle pieces. They just picked the easy route in life. They neglected to collect these pieces. When they had the chance in their youth, when they had their chance in their 20s and 30s, they had these chances to figure out who they are and start building up aspects of themselves, and it led nowhere because they didn't do anything, right? They didn't put in the effort. They purposely neglected it. I believe everyone is given the chance to pursue these things and given the awareness of it if they want to, but they don't. Too many people don't. 95% of people probably don't, right? And you got to be that extra 5%, that 5% that stands out, and you're collecting these puzzle pieces of who you are. And now, don't think about it as you are going against the grain of what humanity was meant for. You are actually tapping into what used to be, to what was meant to be, right? You're tapping in to what it should be. That's why it feels so natural when you go down the path for so long. And that's why you experience the truth of looking at other people and what they're doing and how far they've strayed off the path and off of this path of collecting themselves and understanding who they are, right? Kind of just rambling about this, but I mean, if you really think about it, we are just puzzles, all of us, right? And some puzzles look like you, some puzzles don't. But the fact that we're all different in who we are because we have different puzzle pieces, because we have different experiences and life lessons, right? That's what makes us unique and so different. So I guess what I want to tell you guys is just collect the puzzle pieces one at a time. And oftentimes you don't understand that it was a puzzle piece until after the journey is over, until after you've suffered the hardship and experienced the pain and the loss. But you've also had the many wins, and you've had the fruitful seasons of life where everything went swimmingly, and you had the cool car, and you had the money, and you had XYZ. And looking back, it wasn't for the sake of those things, but it was that I'm the type of person who would get that, who had earned that based off of my work. And that's truly what matters, is building up of your character and the scars that nobody sees, that lead you to success because they make you unique. And the more you discover yourself, the prettier your mosaic will be. The more detailed, beautiful, and intricate your life picture will be. Thank you for listening.